going on, y'all? And happy New Year's Eve. Happy New Year's Eve. We are hours away from literally um, rolling into the year 2021, which I can't believe. So, um, as promised, I told you guys that I would be doing a video of my year, my 2021, and the year of restoration, and kind of, all the things that transpired. I'm not going to go into every little detail about everything because I would be making this video for a very long, long time. So we're not going to do that, and I'm gonna have to skip around to some bits and pieces just because it's just too much. I don't want to take up like so much time. But yeah, let's sit back, let's relax, kick our feet up. Disclaimer real quick too before we get to talking. I am not a Bears fan, as y'all can see in the background. With all this bear stuff, I'm sitting in my father's his man cave, and my skin is itching from sitting in here. But I am not a Bears fan, so let's just put that little disclaimer out there. Anyway, let's jump right into it. So the year 2021, a lot. The year 2021. All right, so I'm gonna try to like speed up some stuff, right? So just to give you guys a little background on some things. So November of 2020, I was separated and on the path to divorce, obviously. So that happened in November of 2020. All the emotions, everything that I felt at that time was crazy. It was just crazy. It wasn't anything that I had expected. So my emotions, and just if any of you have ever been through a divorce or a separation or whatnot, then you know how that goes. You are literally on an emotional roller coaster. So as I'm going through all the different emotions of everything as it was happening, man, I got to a point where I just wanted to get through it, and at any cost, I'm just going to be very honest, at any cost to just get through it. I didn't like feeling the emotions. I didn't like feeling the pain that I felt, and just feeling helpless and very sorry for myself, and pity parties, and just going on and on about how awful the situation was, and in a way to make myself feel like I could get through it, I was like, it's time to move on. Let's I'm not a bad looking girl. I can get out here, I can do my thing, you know what I mean? And not allowing myself to really deal with the issue at hand of what was going on in my life. My children, not only did it affect me, our children, and all those aspects, right? And the families, and just everything that comes with, separation and divorce. So I got to a point where I was really on this path to I was in so much pain. I really didn't know how to communicate that. All I wanted to do is escape it, and as y'all know, y'all may have known, like I come from a praying family, a family that is rooted in the Lord, period. So I come from that background, always have, and God has been always very present in my life since day one, right? And I always knew who He was. Felt like I had a good relationship, and as I was going through my ordeal, I prayed. I was in a position where I was really getting closer to God and trying to find my way through this whole thing and how to heal, and just, Lord, I don't know what to do at this point. Like everything I've known that's built around that I built my foundation with my family, my spouse, all of that is now gone. All of it is shattered. All of this, I had never envisioned that happening at all. And this is not how my life was supposed to be. This is not how things were supposed to go. Now, what am I supposed to do? How am I to pick up the pieces now? What am I supposed to do? So now I'm back to being a single mother of 2 children, 2 different fathers, having to split my time and holidays with my children. This was not how it was meant to be, and I felt like it was just so unfair. So as I'm going through, and I thank God for my friends and my family that were there, that held my hand, that were the shoulders that I needed to cry on and vent to, and checked on me. So important to have that support system, and I was very fortunate, but at the same time, nobody could understand just the amount of pain, because they had never experienced that, they'd never been through it. So it's kind of like, a person, they're just doing the best that they can, giving you words of encouragement, but it was just hard for people to really understand. And a lot of times I didn't even express to people how far off the deep end I really was, even down to my family. I didn't let them know how severe that it was. I mean, it was bad. I had one breaking point where, for a while I had been seeming to hold it together, even on social media. All of those things where it seemed that I was holding it together, that I was doing well. I'm doing TikTok videos. I'm doing the thing right. And just as miserable and still trying to find my way, feeling lost. And I had got to praying and talking to God, and I was getting to a point where he was positioning me to focus on him, right? And I think I had one extreme meltdown, like to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I couldn't deal with the rush of emotion, the up and down, the just not knowing where to turn to. I remember I called my mother, and I'm going to just keep it 100 with y'all. She did not like the way that I was talking on the phone, because I literally was speaking as a person that lost hope, all hope. I couldn't focus on my kids at that point, my children. I just didn't want to feel anything anymore. I didn't want to feel it. And she called my father, who my father at the time, my parents lived like literally 2 minutes up the street, so crazy. So my father came to the house. He had a key to the house, and I was on the couch, and I felt like I had no energy. I was just crying. And it was the weakest. It was a point that they had never seen me. Even my son witnessed me like that, and that bothered him, because he had never seen me in such a broken state. It was to the point, because a lot of the times, let me make this clear, I did all my crying behind closed doors when my children did not see me. They did not witness me crying and being upset and being like this. And it got to a point where I couldn't even hide it from them anymore, which they already knew. Mama wasn't the same anyway. There was stuff going on with her. She was just emotional, not in a good mood. They knew. But my father came, and he had never seen me like that. He rushed right over. When my mom called, she said, "I'm calling your dad. He's coming over there right now." And he did. And I'm grateful for that man. I'm grateful for my father. My dad came, and he held me. He prayed for me. And I know at that time, now looking back, I know that as a father, it broke his heart to see me like that and not being able to do anything, to feel powerless. Here's this strong man who can do anything, he can fix a car, he can, any troubles I'm having with anything else materialistically, or, Dad, I need this on my car. And that it was at a point that his daughters was just completely broken. in a state he had never seen her in all the years that she's been on this earth, and not being able to do anything about it. Fast forward, you go through another stage where it's like, you know what, I'm gonna pull myself up out of the bootstraps, you know, and I'm gonna make it through, I'm gonna get through, I'm gonna push through. So I did. You know, I'm steady working out, as you guys know, those who have been following me. Started working out, started on my health journey back in September of 2020. So I kept maintaining at that point, still going to the gym. And I was pretty much, at this time, I was open. Like, I'm an available woman at this point. Not technically divorced, not even legally separated. But at that point, we had went our separate ways. He had moved out of the home, things of that nature. So to me, I was an available woman. So long story short, I get in the gym and I meet someone. Well, he approached me at the gym, focused this one particular morning, and I'm approached by Mr. Tall, dark, and handsome, and body is crazy, you know, like, okay, you know, he works out, you know, I'm just telling you how the enemy works. So that happens, and I meet this guy, and at the time, you know, everybody's kind of, when I say everybody, my friends, and you know, they wanted me to kind of move on, but it was like, just, you know, be careful. You're still very vulnerable. This is all still very fresh. And this is like at the end of January, like beginning of February, that I meet this person. And I meet this guy. I think we were talking for a little bit, like a week before I actually, like, we met up at a restaurant to, like, just meet in person again. I did see him, I want to say, a couple of times at the gym after that, like after we had initially met, but we ended up having dinner. Long story short, because I can't get into the nitty gritty of I'm not going to do that, but I just want y'all to see, and I'm just giving my testimony of just how 2021 was just crazy. So I meet this guy, seems to be literally right up my alley on all that I want from the natural, you know, from this perspective. You know, he looks good, his body is crazy, he's like 6'2", you know, just fine, you know, that's where my mind is at the time. And I get into this situation with this person, and over time I'm realizing, and it very quickly, that this is not necessarily an ideal situation for me as far as personality, the way that he was very aggressive, just in how he spoke. It wasn't a physical, you know, touching, you know, grabbing me or anything like that, but it was just rough talking, just, you know, just verbally. Was not used to that, the comments, and very confrontational. I was not used to that type of personality. But, you know, I'm at a point where I'm like, this is fine. This is work. Just because I really felt, when I look back, I just didn't want to be alone. I had that fear of, okay, I don't want to be by myself. And as this is going, y'all, I am spiraling because I still have not dealt with healing and the situation of my home life and what's going on there, and dealing with the separation. And things between us were not necessarily good. It was very where we just didn't have a lot of nice things to say to each other. We just didn't. And it was just rough. It was rough on the kids. It was rough all the way around. But I was so busy and caught up in just wanting to feel okay. Didn't want to feel the pain. I just wanted to be okay. you know, and it was very selfish, very selfish. Everybody kept saying, you know, well, you need to focus on your children. And I'm like, well, I get it, but what about me? I've done so much for everybody else. What about me? Right? That's what the flesh will tell us. I mean, and even saying the story, like, I cringe, and it's like, girl. But I have to speak the truth. I have to speak my truth. So that's kind of where I was at that time. Way too much to post for one video, so I think I will probably possibly have to break it up in like 3 parts. We'll see, but I will post the second part to the video tomorrow, so stay tuned. I pray that you guys enjoy it, the first video, and until next time, God bless y'all, and I hope y'all have a great night. All right, bye.